13th of April 2021. My name is Sergey Baklikov. You're watching Baklikov Live. Keep exploring St. Petersburg today, and now I'm gonna show you top 7 lions of St. Petersburg. The lions, they are the guards of the city, and they are one of the biggest symbols of the city. Here in St. Petersburg you can find hundreds and maybe even thousands of them. But which one are the main? Which are the most significant? Today, in the nearest hour, I'm going to show you 7 of the most significant lions here in the northern capital of Russia, and St. Petersburg, and a quintessential of history, culture, architecture, literature, arts, and music. You guys keep joining. Jay Lewis, I'm in Hot Tar, Neil McDonald's, everybody, hi. This is the second stream today. If you never watched my first stream, check it out. That was the stream exploring English Avenue, which is named after English embankment, historically the place to live for English merchants in this city. Okay, so here are our first lions, Sphinxes. This is Egypt Bridge. It is located on the corner of Lermontov Avenue, Lermontovsky Prospect, and the embankment of Fontanka River. Egypt Bridge. 4 Sphinxes like this on each corner of the bridge. And from here we gotta go to the embankment of Gribayev Canal. We will go to Lions Bridge. Also sometimes it's known like 4 Lions Bridge. Lions Bridge. It's a pedestrian bridge built in the middle of 19th century, and there is an amazing construction. It's a cable bridge, and the cables there are hidden. I mean, like the supports of the cables are hidden under the figures of the lions. You will see, it's great. Hey, this is actually nice. It's a nice frame, nice composition. The Sphinx on the background of Troitsky Trinity Cathedral. Shirley Farthing, Ebzer Irma, Alexander A. Matilda Armonia, the theme of lions as big here as in 1978 or in 1979. Here was filmed the movie, a big movie, Russian or like Soviet Italian movie. It is called Unbelievable Adventures of Italians in Russia. It's how Italians here came to look for a treasure. Like there was a grandma who died in Italy, and before the revolution she lived in Russian Empire, and after revolution she escaped to Italy. But here in Russian Empire she was very rich, but unfortunately she was not able to bring all her treasures with her. So what she did, but what a lion! Here is like hundreds, thousands of lions. Okay, so and she came here together with a lot of other Italians because there was many people in the hospital who heard her words, the words of her grandma. Amazing movie. And so they also came to look for that treasure. Yes. So the theme of lions in St. Petersburg was enough even for like a really big movie. Amazing movie. Unbelievable adventures of Italians in Russia. 1979. Director Eldar Rязанов. Italians, the real Italian actors played the roles in that movie, because that was the years of a huge collaboration between Soviet Union and Italy. Лермонтовский проспект. Some of the constructivism. Лермонтовский and Садовая Street. Groceries 24/7, vegetables, fruits, farmer, meat, fish. Tobacco. Студия красоты, beauty salon. And I love this 1960s leaning windows. So great, they're still here.
Я просто, знаешь, когда ты все бежишь, я вот такое впечатление,
Okay, now getting to the unique place, really unique place I used to show before. But it's never too much to show again. It's 7 bridges here. The place of 7 bridges. There's no such a thing even in Venice. Why now I compare with the Venice? Because in Venice also a lot of bridges and canals. But there's no such a place even in Venice. 7 bridges place. 7 bridges here. It's the place where staying on a one same spot, you can see 7 different bridges. It's never too much to show again. Here we're right next to St. Nicholas Cathedral, St. Nicholas, saint patron of seamen. The middle of 18th century. Okay, so look. The first bridge, it's Krukov Canal, corner with Griboyedov Canal. Second, there's third, fourth, fifth, seventh, sixth, and this is seventh where we are staying. And once again, on the background, Nikolsky market, such an 18th, 19th style market with the galleries. Recently completely restored. It was in a really bad shape just like 15 years ago. But as you know, the works here goes all the time. The restoration works goes here all the time because most of the buildings in the historic city center are like at least 130, 150, 200 years old. There we can see a little bit of an old Mariinsky Theater, St. Nicholas Cathedral. Wow, what a look. It's much better look than it was here 2 weeks ago, when here was something like, it's hard to understand the ice, already some kind of mess. Now here is the water. By the way, let me tell you something. They announced that the boats will get back here already in a week. It will depend on how soon the level of the canals and rivers will go down, because now the level of the rivers pretty much, because all that snow, ice that was on the rivers, it turns into the water, and now it's increased the level of the water. Need to wait for when it will go down. Nikolsky рынок, Nikolsky market. Here is now the hotel, like Holiday Inn Express, Hard Rock Cafe, and there inside there's the yard where they are making different festivals, fairs. And the winter time here was the most popular place for riding from the mountains. Here was inside there in the yard, there was the tallest mountain, snow mountain in St. Petersburg. And it was in a great shape because it was specially done for people to enjoy. the belfry. The belfry of St. Nicholas Marine Cathedral. Yep, the middle of 18th century. The youth. And now we are getting into the neighborhoods which are known as Dostoevsky neighborhoods. Like, you remember a week ago I told you that, you see that building with the tower? It's the building which is fire department / police department. And when Dostoevsky in his famous, I guess the most famous novel, Crime and Punishment, described how the student Rodion Raskolnikov, who killed the woman pawnbroker, imagining that he was invited there. The police / fire department of 19th century. It is, by the way, still the place of police. Back then, this tower, the height of this tower was enough for the watchman to see if there's a fire somewhere. So Rodion Raskolnikov was invited here to this police station. Continue exploring St. Petersburg. Today you will see TOP-7 lions. We already saw the first ones in the image of Sphinxes on the Egypt bridge. Now we're going to the Lion Bridge. Really awesome pedestrian bridge with the lions. It's a masterpiece of not only engineering in terms of like it was a cable bridge, one of the first cable bridges here in St. Petersburg, but also just a nice sculptures, nice artwork, which are hiding the construction. Nice sky. Such a pre-sunset sky. Sergey, do people in St. Petersburg recognize you sometimes because they know your channel? I don't know. Well, sometimes people get to me, but I don't think that I'm widely known around Russians because my content is English language content, and it's not even searchable in Russian language in Russian segments of YouTube, if I can say so. Still very lights out, white nights coming. Yes, like for example now when I'm waking up at 5:30, it's already kind of lightful, okay? And it's not even the middle of April yet. Almost a middle, but not a middle. My friends, man, the architecture in this city is utterly breathtaking. Well, that's well-known fact. Yes, it is. Грибоедов канал. It's a so-called Catherine assembly. That's the place. It's like the club of the first Catherine Society. The first Catherine Society, which was founded in 1790. It's called Catherine because when they founded it, that was the years when at the authority of Russian Empire was Catherine. And well, this building was constructed only in the beginning of 20th century, like 1904 or something. I forgot now for sure. But this is like some kind of closed club for the members of the society, and their families was coming here to have a good time and leisure. So here was the concert hall, and still now here are two concert halls. And at the winter time, I was bringing you here. We already can see the Lion Bridge. This is our lines number 2 from TOP-7. Well, here top, it never goes like from last best to the very best, but it's just TOP-7. They all are top. You know what I mean? I'm just walking through all of them based on just how close they are to me. Just according to the logistics. So this is it, famous Lion Bridge. As I told you, unique construction as from the points of engineering back in those days, as from the points of aesthetics, sculpture. This is a cable bridge. Here goes the cable, and you see the support of the cables are hidden under the body of the lines. These are not Sphinxes. These are not the lions with the wings, just the classic lions on a classic bridge. Грибоедов канал. Okay, this was the lines number 2. Let's go to the third lines in our top today. Those are the lines at the Bank Bridge. The bridge which is also located on Грибоедов Canal, but it's closer to Nevsky. It's the place where it's now St Petersburg State Economic University, but it used to be the assignation bank. And there is the lions. Some people call them griffins, but they are not really the griffins, because the griffins, the original griffins, it's the creatures which are having a lion's bodies but the heads of an eagle. But those lions, they are complete lions. The only thing, they have the wings. So that's why pretty often they call them griffins, but they are not griffins in a classic understanding of it. So let's call them just the lines with the wings. Here again we are walking through Catherine Assembly. It's like closed club for the first Catherine Society. Now this is the place to make concerts for Petersburg Concerts. Petersburg Concerts, such an organization which is called Petersburg Concerts. So once this is on Gribayev Canal, all I need is just to keep walking along Gribayev Canal. What a sky. Scott D. All I want to do is travel to St. Petersburg to visit a friend for a week and enjoy all the sights Sergey has shown. Well, it's easy to understand your desire. Вознесенский of Gribayev Canal and Вознесенский Prospect. Check out my videos from like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I was exploring all of these streets. This is the school which is now staying on a place of a former Voznесенskaya church, a huge church which is unfortunately was demolished in 1930s. Enjoy the sky. Прекрасно. It's awesome moments in St. Petersburg. another Dostoevsky place. That's where lives Sonia Marmeladova. From Crime and Punishment, the prostitute. There's Sinead Square, Hay Square. That's where was the biggest market because that was the cheapest. So it was the cheapest, and for this reason, the most popular. No markets like street market anymore there. But the square is still called Sinead Hay Market. Hay Square. Hay, I mean Hay. Hay. Because initially it was developed as the markets where they sold the hay. Oh, look, the first boats. Yes, the private boats, but still, they are already here. the very first place where I was staying in St. Petersburg when I came here for the very first time in 2015. Here was my hotel, Demidov Mini Hotel. And there's the neighborhoods where Rodion Raskolnikov, the student from Crime and Punishment, lives himself. Stolarny Lane. Yandex Food. We continue our way through the embankments of Gribayev Canal. Now we go to Bank Bridge, where we will meet the third lines from our 3 out of top 7 line places in St. Petersburg. Pretty often they call them griffins or griffons, but I told you it's not really correct, because griffins, that's the creatures with a body of a lion but the head of an eagle. The thing is, there's just a lions with wings. It's called banking bridge called Bank Bridge because there was assignation bank, and the lions just considered like a very good guards of not only the city but the treasures. Lions with wings, correct. And look, actually that bridge pretty much similar to just a lion's bridge, but if there's such a classic lions, there are the lions with the wings, with such a golden wings. It's cool. гороховое, гороховое. Hello from Viborg. Hello Maria. Hello son of man. Hello everybody who joined to our walking tour through top 7 lines of St. Petersburg, going to number 3 of our top. Oh my gee. Look, the RV. The RV culture is not too much developed here, but sometimes you can meet an RVs in Russia. Ulrich Heinz, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, dude. Let me remind you that now on this new channel, Baklikov Live, the memberships are available again, and you're welcome to join the membership, because this is technically the best tool for YouTube creators to make a long-term and big plans, because this is something to what you can rely and like make long-term and big plans. Okay, meanwhile we are here. A former assignation bank and a bank bridge, because it is literally leads to the bank, but now here's not the bank. Here is St. Petersburg State Economic University. The bank owners back in those days, they believed that symbolically the lines are really effective guards of the treasures. So look at this. It's a bank bridge with griffins or griffons. But not so long ago I have found that the real griffons, that's the creatures with the body of lion and the head of eagle with the wings. But here we have a full features lions, but just the lions with the wings. Okay. But here actually the lions, I don't know, also looks like some kind of mix with a dog. There's something doggy in these lions, right? However, definitely here is nothing from eagles. I don't know, maybe just the wings. And you see, this is pretty much as a Lions Bridge, but here's just not a classic Lions, but such a, Lions with the wings. Yes, gold wings. Yeah, they symbolize that they are the lions on a bank bridge. Bank, money, treasures, gold. Some people, when they photograph, touch it with their hands, and you see what happens. There's already Nevsky, Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood. You see, not only I came here to film, some other guys also came here. Yes, such a places in St. Petersburg. They attract the photographers, the videographers, and the artists. Okay, let's go to our next place, to number 4 of our top 7 places. Top 7 lion places in St. Petersburg.
Он говорит, ну смотри, я сейчас уже группу позвоню.
Meanwhile, here is Думская street. Here is a lot of nightclubs. I counted up that in only 2 of these buildings, and this one, and here, these are former guest yards. Here is 23 or 24 nightclubs and bars. But it's not like the ones on Rubinstein. Here it's more like for, I don't know, teens and the guys in their early 20s. So I would better go to Rubinstein to hang out than here. Cathedral, the back side of it. Kazanski. They're actually the lions on the territory of a Russian museum, which is Spilled Blood. It could be also in our top, and today's live stream I could call top 8. But I know that the museum is already closed. The gates are closed there, and they just will not let me to get in. So I can't show that. So I had to reduce this live stream to top 7 instead of top 8. But there's also nice lines, huge lines on the entrance to the Russian Museum, which is a former Mikhailovsky Palace. Well, usually no matter how you're trying at some of the dates to avoid Nevsky, just to bring some difference anyway, sooner or later, but in most cases you still eventually getting to Nevsky. So we are the intersection with Nevsky Prospect. The House of Zinger Sewing Machine Company. Connie Hess, thank you for showing many different tours. Very enjoyable. This is my pleasure. I'm always glad introducing the Russian culture, the Russian history to you. If I will not do that, who else will do that? In a moment when so many people are trying to make with Russia this, it's pretty important for me to keep showing the real culture of Russia. Okay, Nevsky. We're here again. Hi, buddy. Buddy, Brin. And everybody. Wow. I actually never noticed how already 174 people here. Yeah, when I enjoy the walk, I barely look at the screen, at the counters. Keep it real, Sergey. Georgia girl, thank you. Well, traditionally here is Visconti band. I was here yesterday. Check it out, dudes. If you're missing the street music bands in St. Petersburg, check out my yesterday's live stream. Yesterday it was the warmest day in St. Petersburg so far. It was plus 19 Celsius, which is 65, 66 Fahrenheit. And yeah, we enjoyed the time there. Is street music every night? Sure. Now it will be every night because the real spring started. Now every day it will be a nice weather and they will play every day. The House of Holland Church. Now here is the library, one of the branches of the Central City Library of St. Petersburg, named after Vladimir Mayakovsky. Here is the branch of the literature about architecture, arts, and a huge archive of music sheets. So this is how we got back to Moika River. This is my second live stream today. The first live stream I started showing English Prospect, Английский проспект, English Avenue. English Avenue, which starts from the corner with Moika River to the corner with embankment of Fontanka River. So that's how we got back to Moika, but just from the side of Nevsky. Slavky Muzey, Swiss Museum, Kazan Mongol, Georgian cuisine. Or they turned on the lights. Okay, now going to the lines number 4. It's the lines on the ferry next to Admiralty. Also known just as a ferry with lions. The bikers are starting their season as well. Wobbleberg House. Now here they are just opened the Wobbleberg Hotel. Absolutely new hotel and a very significant historic building, one of not many gray buildings or dark buildings in St. Petersburg. Another great idea for you where you could stay if you will come to St. Petersburg, Wawelberg Hotel.
Просто немножко рассказывается по-разному.
Wawelberg Hotel. For a very long time, here was happening something inside. I was not sure what happens there, but now we know. They were making the hotel here. Also soon here must be the restaurant. A rooftop restaurant, if I understand it right, which is cool. Admiralty, the Winter Palace, Admiralty Avenue, Admirалтейский проспект, the avenue which is literally goes along the Admiralty building. Hello to everybody who just joins. We are going to the lines number 4 from our top 7. My name is Sergey Baklikov. You're watching Baklikov Live. The dome of St. Isaac's Cathedral. The Tower of Admiralty with its famous spire, the Spire of Admiralty. The beginning of Nevsky. Palace Square, Alexander Colon, Windsor Palace, which is also State Hermitage. And this is the general headquarters. Really enormous building. Admiral soon. Yuri Gagarin. Yesterday, the whole Russia celebrated the Cosmonautics Day, 60 years anniversary since the very first flight of the human into the space. 12th of April, 1961.
Да, мы с Юлей сходили.
Okay, just on the other side of the road, there is the ferry with lions. I usually use that ferry when here is the season, the boat season starts. I usually use that ferry to take a boat ride. Michael St. Pauli, welcome back. Welcome back. This is how we came to number 4 of our top 7 This is a ferry, or how to say, piers with the lions. Palace Bridge. Прекрасно. The lines on the background of Neva River and the Admiralty. Wow, Neva seems so blue now. It's cool. Awesome. Awesome. These are the real guards, because you see there's the balls under their paws. It's you know, if they will falling asleep, it will get out under their paw, and so that's what will bust them. So they never sleep. They never sleep. Even when they are starting falling asleep, they will be buzzed with this ball. Always on guard. Exactly. Surely. Coney Hess, welcome to the club. It's really appreciated and much helpful for a long-term and really big plans for an upcoming live streams. Okay, so number 4 is done. It's a half of our way, and now we will go to the next lines. Hundreds, maybe thousands of lines here in St. Petersburg, but most of them are just lines, okay, but the most significant of them I'm showing you now. So you can actually make, like, if you will want, then you will be able to make it as your walking tour, your walking thematic tour. When you will come to St. Petersburg, you can just walk St. Petersburg, enjoy the time, and you can just walk from line to line. They are great symbols. Yes, it's really strong. Yeah, it's really great to have lines as the guards, as the symbols. It's a full game. It's never a half game. It's a full game. Neva. By the way, I'm now walking over Neva River. Palace Bridge. Palace Bridge is really pedestrian friendly and tourist friendly, because you always can step aside from just the traffic of people. I mean, just pedestrians who just want to walk through. But if you want to enjoy, if you just want to stay here, enjoy, and never be a problem for people who are just going through, so you can step aside. Neva River, in only like 3 kilometers from here, there's the Gulf of Finland, and Gulf of Finland is actually Baltic Sea. If you will look at the map, you will see that technically it's a Baltic Sea. Palace Bridge. It's next to Windsor Palace, the State Hermitage, and it is connecting the central district of St. Petersburg with Vasilyevsky Islands. Vasilyevsky Islands had all chances to become the very center of the historic St. Petersburg. Peter the Great initially wanted Vasilyevsky Island to be the very center, but then he changed his mind and it turned into cultural and scientific center. Like here, he founded the very first public museum. Here is an academies, universities, stock market. Soon I will go to Kunstkamera. This is Kunstkamera from German Museum of Curiosities. It's most famous for its collection of babies, mutants in the jars. One of the most epic places of St. Petersburg, the spit of Vasilyevsky Island. The place from where you're getting an amazing panorama of the city, Neva River, Peter and Paul Fortress, Palace Embankment, rostral columns. Here is two of such columns. It's just columns decorated with the speeds of the ships. The local people are having a joke that those are just fat cats, and their back legs. But that's stupidity, I think. That's stupid. By the way, there also will be lions, some kind of lions, but I don't know. I never added them into my top, so it's not increased the number of my top. But still, even there you will see the lions because they are just not a full-featured lions there. You will see now. I told you before that several times a year on the top of columns they burn the fire. It happens on a new year, 31st of December, 1st of January, Orthodox Christmas, which is at the 7th of January, then at the 27th of January, which is the end of the day of the siege of Leningrad, one of the main holidays for St. Petersburg, because St. Petersburg went through an absolutely awful, terrible siege during the years of World War II. Then, of course, Victory Day, Navy Day, the day of the city, at the 27th of May. This is probably the widest crosswalk I ever saw. Colin Druin. Hi, Colin. Okay, we go. So you see, wide, really wide. But it makes sense in the summertime when here is a lot of people are hanging out. The St. Petersburg stock market, it's here. Now they restored the facades of stock markets. St. Petersburg stock market provides the access to the stocks of over 1,000 foreign for Russia companies, American companies, European, Asian, Australian companies. Okay, one of the greatest panoramic places in St. Petersburg. The lines are here. Many lines are here, but look, that's how they look like here. I don't know if you can see this. the lions with in their mouth. Прекрасно. Прекрасно. Look at this panorama. St. Isaac's Cathedral. Palace Bridge. Admiralty. Neva River. The State Hermitage, which is also Windsor Palace. Palace Embankments. Trinity Bridge, Peter and Paul Fortress with the Peter and Paul Church, where now the clock were beating, and pretty often when hear the melody on a clock there, on a clock tower, it's the anthem of Russian Empire, God Save the Tsar. Pretty cool. Stock Market Bridge. Let me remind you once again, this is a Rothschild column. We're going meanwhile to the Lions number 5 out of our top 7. Those are the Lions on the Makarov embankment. I'm in Qatar. I miss salsa nights. Yes, in the summertime here is there's absolutely awesome salsa nights. Ladies and gentlemen, they are dancing under hot rhythms. That's cool. That was cool. But give it a time, just maybe a few weeks, and they will get back here. Makarov, Admiral Makarov embankment. Let's go. More lines, even more frigging lines are waiting for us. Vasilyevsky Islands, or sometimes I see that in English language it's written like Basil's Island. ladies and gentlemen. So here is our lines. Our next lines, the lines on Makarov embankment. Hey, dudes, how are you here? Amazing, amazing. Dudes, you really defend this city. You defend this city. So how do you love it? How do you love it? These are really significant lines. It's not those newly made lines, just like made of, I don't know, plaster in the hotels. There are so many hotels where you will come and there also will be the lines. But those are newly made and just made of cheap plaster or something like that. But these ones are great. They are the historic. They're having a historic meaning. They are no joke. You hear me? They are no joke. No joke. Christine Katsuba, good job, Lions. You have kept St. Petersburg safe. Exactly. Okay, so this was the Lions number 5. From our top 7 today. 2 lines yet. Come on. The next ones are also located here on Vasilyevsky Islands. Come on. The only thing I need to do, I need to connect the power bank into the phone. Damn, I have only 7% of the battery left. Okay. Oops. Okay, there we go. The Institute of Physiology. Yes, here is a lot of universities, cultural centers, museums. Peter the Great wanted it to be like the center of St. Petersburg. but then it turns so that it turns into the cultural and educational center on Vasilyevsky Island. But still, it's one of 4 districts which is considered as a one big historic city center. The central districts, Vasilyevsky Island, Petrogradsky, and Admiraltейский. I'm now going to University Embankment. There are the Sphinxes. The Sphinxes right from Egypt. Yes, directly from Egypt, gifted to St Petersburg in 1830s. Cassandra, Elliot, Sergey, it's good to see you live. Yes, this is Baklikov Live. The live streams are every day. You forgot about that. Hey, how come you forgot about that? Is that noise from a bird? I wouldn't call it noise. Some kind of, I don't know, tweet or how to call this, but it's not the noise. Noise is when you fart. When you fart, that's noise. And look, you talk about the lines. It's also the lines that I never stated in my today's stop. But look at this. The lines are all around the building. They are the real guards, the real symbols. Damn, what happens with this line? Okay, meanwhile, we are getting back to Neva River, embankments of Neva River, Neva Mother, the biggest river in St. Petersburg, and that is exactly what St. Petersburg is all about. Neva, it's explorer between the Baltics and the whole Russia. Russia is full of symbolism. The United States has lost its knowledge of the importance of symbols. St. Petersburg, yes, here is a lot of symbolism. It has a special place here. And now we go to to number 6 out of our top 7. We are going to Egyptian Sphinxes, which also some kinds of lions, and that's the real Sphinxes from Egypt. They were gifted to St. Petersburg. Now Neva looks black. Just like 30 minutes ago, when I was there on a ferry with lines, it looked so blue. Now it looks black, if I can say so. I mean, under black, I just mean black color. You understand it? Sheer far thing, yes. Because I'm not sure if it's still okay on the American YouTube to say black, even though I just want to describe the color. The very first stone building in St. Petersburg, and this was the Menshikov Palace. Alexander Menshikov, one of the associates of Peter the Great, and the very first governor of St. Petersburg. Body Brin, who cares, Sergey? I mean, here it's okay. So I'm just checking how it's there. We almost there. The Sphinxes. Jeff Hurst, another brilliant and entertaining IRL. Thank you once again, Sergey. You're welcome. Yeah, today I decided to give some of like a little bit more educational content. This is one of the places where you can come by car. It's legal just to get here by car and to stay here, sit in your car right in front of the Neva River. It's cool. People love hanging out here. Because you're coming, you're in your car. So if you like, let's say, if you like drive the car, not to walk like me. Many people don't really like to walk as much as I do. They love just to drive the car, just always to have the car under their ass. So it's nice alternative. You're coming by car with your girl if you're a boy, or with your boy if you're a girl, and you're sitting here in the car watching Yuva River, maybe kissing, romantic time. Okay, dudes. Number 6 of our top 7. The Sphinxes, the real Sphinxes from Egypt, gifted to St. Petersburg in 1830s. To be exact, 1832. It is written even here. 1832. The head of a man, but the body of a lion. The Sphinxes. I say Sphinxes because here are 2 of them. Another one is there. But that's not all yet here. Let me show you something else. I believe now these are more like a griffons or griffins. Yeah. Here is 4 of them. It's one there, one here, and also 2 there. Okay, so this was number 6. So now let's get back to the central districts, I guess Admiralty district. And there, next to St. Isaac's Cathedral, there's a former mansion of Lobanov Rostovsky. Now there's Four Seasons Hotel, and on the entrance there's also the Lions. It was a mansion of Lobanov Rostovsky. Then there was a war ministry. Now there's the hotel. But the building is historic, and so is the Lions there. Благовещенский, Annunciation Bridge. Annunciation, Благовещенский. In Russian language, language sounds like благие вести, like bringing a good news. Благовещенский, Annunciation. It's also drawbridge. Actually, this bridge is getting opened even earlier than Palace Bridge, which is next one. But mostly everybody coming to look at the Palace Bridge there, because there's just more popular place to hang out. It's right next to the Svято-Vasilyevsky Islands. It's next to St. Isaac's, Windsor Palace, Admiralty. So people are hanging out mostly there, not here. Neva. Walking through Neva again. I'm getting back. To the Admiralty district and Central district. It seems like there's the control point. People are sitting, watching the monitors. They control something here. So, today, this is already the second live stream. The first stream I was making, walking all the way through English Avenue. English Avenue, I told you, that was named after English embankment. This is English embankment. Historically, that's the neighborhoods where an English merchants were settling down in St. Petersburg. Yeah, they were coming to St. Petersburg, to the capital of Russian Empire. They were bringing their stuff here, and they were living in these neighborhoods. So it's English embankment, then there goes Admiralty embankment, and then Palace embankments. So they lived actually really close to Admiralty and to Winter Palace. So, and the English Avenue relatively not far from here. If you missed the live stream of mine exploring Английский проспект, English Avenue, check it out. Meanwhile, we are going to number 7 of our top 7 of the lines in St. Petersburg. Let's go. Varleo, High Var. Once again, this was Annunciation Bridge, Blagoveshensky. Literally, like, consisted of two Russian words, Blagoy and Vesti. Blagoy, it's like an old Russian for good. Vesti, новости, news. Bringing the good news. Annunciation. You call it Annunciation. Lion, king of the jungle. King of the jungle, king of the jungle. Joe Hernandez. You're right, he is the king. If you're just a mongrel, you don't have to bark on a lion, okay? Because you can bark on a lion, but if you're a mongrel, you are still going to be a mongrel. The one who was born to crawl, that one can't fly. Anyway, a barking dog seldom bites. Nevada beauty. Nevada beauty. In the summertime, here is a lot of people usually are sitting. They're sitting, enjoying the time, drinking wine, beer, and whatever, coffee. Yeah, normally it's like not really welcoming to drink the beer in the street, but who cares? But who cares until you never make any problems? By the way, absolutely forgot to tell you something. You remember that Friday Night Live video? The live stream, which is due to a strong wind, went the way I never planned, but after all turned to be a great live stream because we've got two black and white coffee. There was a girl with a long blue hair playing violin. Then we went to the new location of pizza 22 centimeters Napolitana pizza place on Leo Tolstoy Square on Petrogradsky. Then we've got to Tweet and Eat place where there was a nice percussion bands, acoustic bands playing the music, singing the songs, two girls and one guy playing the contrabass, the girl singing and playing flute, another girl playing ukulele. So the video was blocked due to copyright claim, automatic copyright claim, because YouTube recognized the melody, and now it's unblocked. It's unblocked now. So you can enjoy that. It's freaking unblocked because I said the disputes, like I explained, like dudes, it's 6 hours 30 minutes freaking live stream, and there's only like 3 minutes of a background music that the violinist used playing her little concerts in a coffee. Okay, so it's a fair use. It's a fair use. And it's really great that the guys from Sony Music respect after all, that you turn to be adequate, and they removed the climb. I told them, the guy, hey, look, just monetize the video, I don't care, but just unblock it. Oh, Steven Seagul's. Yes, Steven Seagul's. Seagul's. Steven Seagul's. By the way, Steven Seagal, he has Russian citizenship now. He loves Russia. Steven Seagal comes here all the time. The former Senate building, and look again, there are the lines as well. The former Senate building, now here is the Constitutional Court of Russian Federation. Lines, lines, and lines. Sinead Square, next to former Senate building, and this is probably the most famous monument to Peter the Great. Peter the Great there on a horse watching Neva River. Neva, he handled Neva, you know. It's like, I mean, imagine 300 years ago, he decided to found the city here. I think most of us would suppose that it's crazy to found the city here in the north, on the swamps. Yes, here was the swamps. Like the swamps, nobody. Peter the Great, we will build the city here. And look what he turned the swamps next to Neva River to. Norman who? Great tour, Sergey. Love to see St. Pete at night. Yeah. When I was filming mostly at winter, and no matter when I filmed, it was always dark. People told me that you miss the St. Petersburg at the daylight. Now, when I started to film a lot during the daylight, it's good to see that you're saying that, hey, like, we started missing St. Petersburg at the night lights. Yeah, recently, like for the last 2-3 weeks, I tried to film at the daylight, starting from 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Now the sunset times comes here at 6:20. 8:20. Yeah, this is great. The days are significantly getting longer and longer. Like already at 5:40, it's such a morning light, you know, such a morning twilight. Okay, but looking at the horse, let's not forget about our lions. The last party, the 7th party of lions from our top of top-7 lions, now will be there at the former mansion of Lobanov Rostovsky, the Grand Duke Lobanov, frigging Lobanov Rostovsky. Then there was War Ministry, and now there's Four Seasons Hotel. Also, as far as I know, it's even have the word lion in the name of it, like Four Seasons Lion Hotel or something like that. St. Isaac's Cathedral. The construction taken 40 years, from 1818 to 1858. Designed by an architect, Auguste Montferrand. There is a legend that the construction taken that long because the gypsy predicted that he will die about same time the cathedral will be built. Well, and really it happened so that he died a little bit after it was finished. But look, now it's hard to say that it was because of a prediction or just because of really decent age. For that times, for 1858, 70 years was really decent. He was 70, maybe even 70 plus when he died. Admiralty. We got back to Admiralty. Okay, dudes. This is a former mansion of Lobanov Rostovsky. Then here was a war ministry. Now Four Seasons Lion Hotel. Sunshine Girl, thank you for this great walk and insight into Russian history. You're a great commentator too. I watched the ice hockey video. Sunshine Girl, thank you big time. Thank you. Yes, there was the time I was the ice hockey commentator and hockey reporter, which is actually a little bit different things. But I was good as in the commentary, as in making the reportages. Okay, now that's the place where we are finishing our tour, top-7 lines of St. Petersburg tour. Also, here is an absolutely classic lines. 2 lines staying next to the entrance to the hotel, former Lobanov Rostovsky mansion. Also, as you can see, there is the bowls under their paws, so they never sleep. They never sleep because when they are freaking falling asleep, the ball rolling out of their paws, and that's what buzzes them. Like, hey, wake up, motherfucker! Wake up. You forgot that you're the guard of such a great city like St. Petersburg. Wake up. You piece of shit. Wake up. You motherfucker. You're a lion. You're not a mongrel. Okay? You're not a mongrel.
Не, мне здесь рядышком. Через площадь домой.
So now you guys knows the lines which are really make sense. It's not like just some newly built mini hotel where they order a cheap plaster sculptures which doesn't have any, not a historical, not actually really aesthetic meaning, not like these ones. The mongrels don't have bark on their lions.